Excellent. Thank you, Teresa. Really did enjoy the presentation. So I want to introduce our next speaker, Rajiv Sabharwal. So Rajiv is the Director of Business Development for Bureau Veritas. He's an infrastructure sector specialist with proven national global experience. His experience spans across key functions like sales, business development, customer relationship management, and project management. Rajiv has an in-depth knowledge of the oil and gas industry and power industry. He successfully formed profitable and long-lasting relationships on executive, technical, and business levels. He also has a strong international experience and is well-versed in cross-cultural business practices across North America, Europe, and Asia. He has experience in global business protocols and is adept at collaborating with business and technology executives in these geographies. So today, Rajiv will be speaking with us about the new normal for quality assurance and quality control. Rajiv, welcome to the Houston Regional Conference.
Good morning, Belinda. Thanks a lot. Sorry, guys. Though we are in the age of technology and technology poses us a lot of challenges, and that's where I go back to my Teresa, we are working collaboratively, help us to be more innovative. Good morning, all, and thanks a lot for this joining the conference today. I take this opportunity to thank ASQ Houston Chapter, Luciana, Eduardo, and the remaining team for hosting such a great event and providing us an opportunity to share our views about how the changing landscape is affecting the quality assurance and quality control. I had the business development for Bureau Veritas for the capital projects, supporting my clients in achieving or exceeding their quality goals of their project procurement, fabrication, and construction. Those who don't know the Bureau Veritas, let me take a moment to introduce Bureau Veritas. Bureau Veritas has a 200-year history in testing, inspection, and certification. With a global network of more than 78,000 full-time employees, helping clients meet their quality, health, safety, and environment needs. BV, as we call it, is a recognized global partner in the oil and gas industry, working across every segment from upstream, midstream, and downstream. Today, I'm going to share how at Bureau Veritas I see the changing landscape and new normal of QA, QC, utilizing the innovative solutions to meet the need of the time. Can you go to Luciana, next slide, please? Prior to COVID-19, I see that around February, March around, the physical assurance of the quality was must. The quality control programs were effectively implemented with multiple layers of resources, including internal auditors, external auditors, inspectors, supplier quality team, buyer quality representative, buyer engineering team, and so on. The pandemic challenged us to think differently and implement the innovative way of ensuring the quality. I still remember when in March, everybody was asked to be quarantined or basically go from home side of it. We as a part of essential service provider was quite worried about how we are able to support the clients. Innovation and technology is impacting all aspects of our personal and work life. Like all other industry, technology is supporting increasing the effectiveness and efficiency of quality assurance and quality control, which is becoming a new normal. In the last few years, we at the TIC service companies, along with the energy industries, has implemented multiple initiatives. And like remote inspection, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, I'll be discussing some of these. Next slide, please. before one. Yeah. Okay. The phrase, if you see that remote inspection, the phrase itself is self-explanatory. Otherwise, yeah, in other words, if I put remote inspection is implementation of quality control or quality assurance through the remote intervention. Remote inspection is the first phase of implementing basic quality to mitigate the challenges posed by the situations we had. For example, quality control inspector or the assessor or an auditor is not able to physically present. Maybe it is due to pandemic where everybody is quarantined or any other reason. Or alternatively, somebody who is already at the field or the site needs to connect to subject matter expert to deal with some complex issues during the inspection or audit, or require the engineering acceptance to a non-compliance DC. So these situations demand remote intervention to avoid delay in decision making and create conducive atmosphere for the remote inspections. During the current time when we see that people are so much affected with the COVID-19, we are regularly implementing remote inspections to support the client needs. For a recent LNG project, I remember that assignment was to conduct the remote inspection of the turbine generator, which was basically being assembled and built in Italy. And the customer in Houston, the engineering supervisor was not able to fly because there was travel restriction put by all the countries. So what we did with that, our inspector at the field of the manufacturer in Italy connected through using the smart glass, wherein we sitting in Houston along with our client were able to connect with him and see what he was able to see and were collaboratively able to witness those critical inspection points. It helped basically to the engineering team to approve the equipment without even going there. So the engineering supervisor, as they were not able to travel, but using this technology, they were able to participate in the inspection without physically traveling and were able to clear the equipment. Or in other words, if we see that it increased the safety and eliminated the travel risk, and also increased the productivity since he or she was able to work for the other assignment, avoiding such a travel time. So the remote inspection certainly helps in increasing the efficiency. Next slide, please. So as we see, basically, we have multiple ways how we can remotely connect it. On this instance, basically, we utilize the much easily available equipment like a smartphone or the tablet. So utilizing under the similar situation, utilizing the different technology or the different hardwares, we were able to lively connect. The inspector in the field was able to connect with the subject matter expert. And the one best thing happens around with this technology, because you can participate and telestrate at the same time. All the participate can telestrate. So which means they can provide their input what the person in the field is looking. You can control Zoom basically, or even you can put your comments and remarks, which helps to a very collaborative inspection or ensuring the quality of those equipments being inspected, and helped lot of travel for the people. So this simple remote inspection technology helped in increasing the efficiency of implementing quality. However, Unlike our past experience, one of the things with the remote inspection is that this is heavily dependent on expertise of individual conducting the inspection physically or remotely. So here we are utilizing the technology to participate together, but again, looking at the equipment, everything comes back to the expertise of the person who's doing it. Next slide, please. So as we are getting sophisticated with the technology, so we see areas where we can work together, increasing and utilizing the machine learning. So other way, the augmented reality is a further development of technology wherein we are able to take the benefit of ensuring the quality by comparing the as-built to the 3D model. This is a further step ahead. So augmented reality superimposes the computer-generated 3D model on the equipment package or skid. Utilizing this application, the quality professional in the field can virtually bring up all the relevant information. Like he can basically, he or she can do that. They can get the ITPs, they can get the specification, confirming the tolerances, and can do the complete inspection with all the information on hand. Alternatively, it also helps a lot in working around with the collaborative team. The inspection can virtually, the team can virtually fit, if you basically the equipment to any of the virtual plan. For example, if you are doing a valve and you have a skid, so you are inspecting the valve. So by superimposing the skid, you can take those dimensions of the valves directly into the skid and confirm the orientation and confirm how basically it will be looking when it's going back into the field. Next slide, please. So as we see here, so here the person is able to superimpose the 3D model, and this picture demonstrates where we are seeing remotely from the inspector glasses around. So this is quite a powerful technology, implementing which reduces the time of inspection and increase the efficiency, ensuring that no point is missed. And this also offers a high degree of collaboration between the field inspection subject matter expert with the mixed reality. On another note, basically on a major upstream project, we along with our client were conducting inspection of a skid package using the Microsoft HoloLens and the remote assist. And it was amazing to see that with a time, couple of hours, we were able to confirm the orientation, dimensions of that major skid with the black box dimensions from the site. So the process of superimposing a 3D model on as-built was able to avoid additional time and expenses to go to the location, and even to do the, as a typical process we do, once you do the dimensional check of the skid, you go for the laser scanning, and then those results are brought up to the engineering teams, and the engineering teams review those and give the approval. Next slide, please. But in this particular cases, so the inspector in the field was able to superimpose the 3D model on the virtual fabricated skid, and the engineering team and the quality team and the project team sitting in different locations were able to finally confirm that whether it is fitting the black box, and were able to agree with all the dimensions, and what we give them a further movement. That equipment is ready to be moved. So it not only reduces the time frame where you do dimensional check basically and provide those information back to quality to engineering, and once engineering approve that, and then it is ready to lift. So with this virtual, everybody being at the same place at the same time, we're able to clear that equipment without a challenge. And it not only reduces that lot of time for the equipment to be finally approved, but also reduces a lot of cost. That, okay, if they are able to confirm the dimensions virtually, then the laser scanning at that moment could be avoided. The equipment can make. So as we see that utilizing remote inspection and augmented reality has helped us in increasing the efficiency and effectiveness of the quality control, utilizing the expertise of human and machine during these CapEx phases of the project. So it is a basic collaboration of man-machine where we are able to make sure increase the effectiveness and efficiency of the inspections. However, further challenge was posed around what happens when there are far-reached areas. So with the next slide, please. With the further development of the technology, we were able to develop on an autonomous solutions for far-reached areas. Like we as the tech industries were further challenged that these assets which are in the field, difficult to reach areas, require a special structurals to do the inspection, how the technology can help into that. That's where the next phase of technology came around. And the next phase of ensuring the quality is through a combination of automated data collections and artificial intelligence techniques to bring continuous industrial risk management to a very different level. So working with the Veritas system, and Veritas basically developed an analytic-based inspection solutions wherein flying an autonomous drone over the asset was able to recognize the image and was, with the artificial intelligence-based software, was able to highlight the areas of concerns. So typically, just an example, in South America, we did that. We had a issue of inspecting a grid. It was a power grid lines. So instead of sending multiple people with a lot of infrastructure to do, so we utilized this autonomous drone with the AI software. And once this drone flew over the wire lines, and it captured the image and was able to find the areas where they were seeing the challenges or concerns with respect to the quality requirement of those. So in that case, once you have the responsibility to ensure that quality, you basically get a fully intelligence report from this autonomous process, which suggests where the challenges are, which reduces a lot of time, just more to focus on the concern areas, and less to even worry about how the infrastructure and things need to be done. So the technology is emerging, is changing our QA/QC landscape, and we are seeing more collaboration between human machine, which is now becoming a new normal, and we see continuing innovation about it. And how we are able to do is the next slide, please. Is the new, it has changed a lot of tools and what we used to have in the past. Next slide also. Yeah. So we see that now the different tools around for us is hardware, then the connectivity and the software which can help to the to the remotely, or can basically help us to do it intelligently, or without much intervention of a human. Next slide, please. Today we have got so much of the choices around which are being developed, and based on the type of what results or what type of needs we have multiple choices. For example, if the area is accessible, then utilizing the most commonly available devices like a smartphone or a tablet, we can do this inspection with the collaboration of subject matter expert and the people in the field. For the more complex locations where they are far-reached, we have choices for the robotics and drones. And where we have a challenge, we have access but have a challenge of wanting to do for the safety a hands-free. We have the smart glasses and augmented reality based, which becomes much or collaborative and utilizing the technology to ensure the quality is met. Next slide, please. And same thing, to enable all these hardwares, there are multiple software available to ensure that the system works seamlessly, even during the low bandwidth, basically whatever the challenges we have a different software to be able to capture those areas. And like big companies like us, and I hope everybody, all other colleagues, we have licenses with multiple service providers, so which help us not to be dependent on a single or specific technology, but concentrate and focus on the client's needs and come up with a solution which best work for the client to ensuring their quality. So I think, I know looking at the time, certainly I have taken additional 5-6 and apologize for the inconvenience we had due to the technological issue. And I look forward, basically enjoyed it, and I'll be happy to have any questions, or if you want to reach afterwards, I'll be available. My contact information are provided on the right side of the slides. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Rajiv. Excellent presentation. We have some questions. How do you trust clients during virtual audits?
How do you trust clients during virtual audit? So if basically, is the question is like, okay, the client has to trust us, or the thing what they're seeing, or is it? So typically, in other words, what happens? You're right around. It's a great question. Trust is again now when we are moving into a technological world. So the challenge, there was a lot of resistance at a very early stage. I remember that when we started in 2015 utilizing the Google Glass technologies to supervise the work of our quality resources in the field, and supervisor in the office can do. At that time, there were so many challenges asked by the people. How do you ensure the confidentiality? How do you basically, the challenges like, the internet connectivity and all, which was, again, shaking a lot of trust between the owners and the, companies providing the services. So typically, what happened is, as we were able to demonstrate that how it can benefit them and it becomes more collaborative, that it helped to increase and gain the trust of the people. So typically, more and more collaboration approach where all the stakeholders have a presence helps to increase that or bring back that confidence level and trust into these technologies.
Thank you. One more question. There's another one regarding RUs. So RUs are counted by the hours, so it depends the amount of hours you will be connected. Typically, you will receive 0.5 for a half-day conference. So the last question for you, Rajiv. Well, there are several. What's the biggest risk that Veritas has identified as lesson learned coming out of a remote audit?
Yeah, very, very good question. I think, there are a lot of lessons learned, and that is helping us to basically further develop that. But one of the major, I think, lesson learned is that when you say purely remote is not the full solution. So it has to be a combination, because when we as a quality professional and are trying to see that the quality is met, we are not only seeing that particular equipment. We want to see the culture of that shop. We want to see the practices, safety practices, how they do. Because a good process can achieve a good quality, not only the spot. So that was the big lesson learned, and that is where we see the current and the future, where the technology will enable us to, as an industry, to ensure the quality, but it has to be a combination of human and machine. One versus the other is not very, very, basically, very, very effective in that.
Thank you very much, Rajiv. It was a great presentation. Many people is thanking you and saying that it's very relevant, very interesting, and very timely. So there are more questions. So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna have the break. We changed the schedule a bit. We're gonna have the break from 9:15 to 9:25. So in the meantime, you can keep asking questions. If Rajiv and Teresa are online, you can check the chat, and we'll leave you the microphone open so that you can answer the questions. You can also send private messages to them if you want to connect further. Thank you very much. We'll see you again at 9:25 with Nuria Aguilar.